Well, hello there, stamping friends. This is Tracy Reither from Plum Crazy Stamping, and it is October 2nd already. Where did the first go? And I'm here today to do our monthly paper pumpkin workshop. And so I'll be broadcasting on Facebook and on YouTube. If you are on Facebook or YouTube, I hope that you will please use the comments to sign in. Let me know your name and where you're watching from. And also use the comments for any questions that you have or feedback that you have on the projects. Even if you're watching this on replay, I will still monitor the comments and I will respond even if it is after the broadcast. So glad you're here. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have to tell you, October, we have so many things going on. So let me just talk a little bit about those, and I'll share more information as the broadcast continues. But I want to let you know that yesterday, through the end of the month, a new kit collection, that is the Stampin' Up! Kit collection, has a sale going on for the whole month, and that's up to 30% off a kit. Now, this is a great way to get some projects, whether they be paper crafting or stamping, just for yourself at a reduced price, and or to get started on your Christmas shopping. I know that people love to get all-inclusive little kits that they can use so they can make cards and paper crafting projects. So FYI, also as a bonus, through the 16th, I will also be entering anyone that buys a kit into a drawing for the haunted home. Right now, that is not available, and I know a lot of people are looking for it. So this is a way for you to get that kit directly from me, and it will be maybe let's call it an early Happy Halloween treat. So once again, just order from Plum Crazy Stamping, and if there's a kit on your order, I'll be entering you in that drawing. The other thing that I am carrying over from last month is the Santa special tutorial, which is 4 Christmas cards and a box to put those cards in. And I'm going to be using, let me just flip the camera down here so you can see the Sentimental Christmas Suite Collection. So this is the product that I started spotlighting at the end of last month. And I am going to continue this through, I believe, let me just double check my notes here, through the 9th. So if you purchase this suite from page 29 in the catalog, I will send you that free card tutorial that has 4 Christmas card designs and a box to put those cards in, which is a $14.95 value, for absolutely free. So just an opportunity for you to get started on your Christmas cards. And if you didn't see the product last week when I did the card that I've posted, here on my business page, it includes some shaded spruce ribbon. It has embellishments. It has a small set of dies that match the stamps and will actually cut them out. And then it was this beautiful designer series paper that is 2-sided, and it looks really vintage. So it's kind of a unique card making experience for you this year. And so this is one side. There are 12 sheets of paper in this designer series set. And this is the other side, which is equally as delightful as the front side. And then there are also, for you scrapbookers, this would be a great background. This is a great background. This for your scrapbook. And check out the snowflakes. You could get a start on your January cards. And then these other two backgrounds, also wonderful for scrapbooking. And look, you can make a 2-page spread that looks awesome together. So just FYI, that is the Sentimental Christmas Suite. All right. And you'll probably, I think next week, I'm going to do another card with this because I really am enjoying this kit. Okay. So the other thing that's been happening on Plum Crazy Stamping is there was a card challenge that was out, and 21 cards were posted on the Plum Crazy Stamping Facebook page. And let me show you the prize, because for those 21 posts, each post earned the person that posted it a chance at winning 10 4x6 double-sided pieces of designer series paper. Now, these are from all different stamp sets and different time frames. Anyway, and I have 3 of these sets that I'm going to give away today during the broadcast. So I'm going to be drawing 3 during today's broadcast. So these I already have in envelopes. I'm going to draw names today, and all I'll need is people's mailing addresses to get this into the mail for them. So let's go ahead and draw the first winner. And I've got all of these cut up in little strips. And I'm just going to mix them up here so I can't see any names. All right. So I've got that laid there. I have a little sheet here to write down who the winners are. So let's get our winners list started and do the first drawing. All right, so let's see. I'm going to pick to the bottom here and pull out D. Bain is our first winner. And so D, if you come on today, I will need your mailing address, and I'll be dropping this in the mail for you. All right, so we've got the first person on our winners list, and I'm going to take her out of the drawing, and I'm going to put these other ones to the side, and we'll continue this later in our broadcast. So if you've posted a card, we'll be seeing if you win. All right, so let's set that off to the side. And the last announcement before we get started is this Saturday, Stampin' Up! Is doing a free World Card Making Day event. And you can still register for this event up through Friday. So if you haven't done that, get in the fun with all of us. And it's going to be from 2 to 3 Mountain Time, which, let me think, is 1 hour earlier than us. So from 1 to 2, I believe, is when it will be Central Time. And it's going to be great. They're going to actually share with us some card designs, some to do during a time to stamp together, and some to do after the event is completed. So just a reminder to register for that free event. Okay. Let's get into our paper pumpkin this month. So this is the September kit called Autumn Abundance. And there are 9, the materials in here for 9 different cards, 3 of each of these 3 designs. And oh my goodness, you guys, the colors in this kit are just gorgeous. Also, a great fall stamp set. So we've got, a twig here with the leaves gone. We have leaves. We have a little bitty snail in here. So adorable, plus 3 sentiments. So I like now they give us this actual picture of the artwork. And then I just fold this in half. And I keep my stamp set in a recipe box so that I can easily find it. So the Paper Pumpkin is our monthly subscription. You do sign up ahead of time, and then you can do that monthly, every 3 months, every 6 months, or every 12 months. This is also, as we are starting to go towards Christmas, this is a wonderful gift. And if you are a paper crafter and want to ask your family, your loved ones, and let them know what's on your list, Paper Pumpkin is a gift that keeps going all through the year, depending upon how long your subscription is. And it's awesome. My husband buys it for me every year, and I get a present every month. I absolutely love it. All right, what else came in this kit? We always get a spot. This is Cajun Craze this month. I'll be using my full-size Cajun Craze on this, but I have the spot that I keep in my collection with all my spots. And then let me see, inside here, when you open this up, you have all kinds of card bases and envelopes and die cuts that are made for these projects. Many times you will have embellishments and ribbon, and you will get adhesive that you need to put the projects together. All right, so let me move this out of the way so I can show you more of these parts and pieces before we get started today. I'm just going to pop the stamping stamp set picture in there because I already have them all mounted on my acrylic blocks to use in our projects today. And then we always get a full color instruction sheet. And what's really nice on the front here, you can get a very good view of all the cards and envelopes. On the back, it does show you all the pieces and parts that are in this kit. Now, Stampin' Up! Has small die sets that are available for a quarter's worth of paper pumpkins. So this month is the last month to use what was called, oh, I wish I could remember the name of it. Anyway, there were 3 dies in there. And then there's always a QR code to watch a video of the project being put together in case you don't get to catch my video. And then inside, it shows you how to gather together your materials for project 1, 2, and 3. And then there's actually step-by-step instructions in here that are in full color about how to put together the project, what type of adhesive to use, what you need to stamp. So lots of information. So let's just look at these components, and we're going to go ahead and do the project the kit projects first. But anyway, I just want to show you. So the first project we're going to use has this set of a card base that already has a front punched out. There's a card layer, and look at this beautiful, little bit smaller envelope, but something very unique for fall. And then we have the second card, and this has copper foiling on it, as well as look at those beautiful colors. I love this Night of Navy as a part of this design. And then we have this is also copper foiling on this card front and back, and then an envelope also with Cajun Craze on the inside. Now, these are the 3 things that I'm going to use when we get down to our projects that are the alternatives, so I can show you some additional things that you can do with your kit. And these are the colors that are featured in this kit. And, Night of Navy, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Crumb Cake, Poppy Parade, and Wild Wheat. What a great set of colors, and some a little unexpected, I think, for fall. Okay, and then these were all the die cuts that were provided in the kit, and they're going to go on the different cards that I'm putting together. And then I'll also be using some of these in my alternative card projects. So I'll just be setting these off to the side as well, and we'll go ahead and get started with the kit projects. So we're first going to do the project number 1. So I've gathered all the information together here. So here's the envelope. I've got a card layer. I have the card front. I've got a number of die cuts that were part of this kit that are already punched out of the cardstock that they were on just to save some time. I've put some of the dimensionals and stuff on the back to help us out. And let's go ahead and do our stamping first. I always like to do that. So we have two things that we're going to be stamping. And so let's get our Cajun Craze ink out here. And let me say hello, Sue and Betty and Kathy and Mary Ellen. So nice to see you. All right. And we're going to get our twig first to start this. I am going to use a little piece of scrap paper here to just protect my Pierce mat because these stamps are photopolymer. So they'll benefit from having the Pierce mat to make the best image possible. And the first thing that I'm going to do is just put this twig on the side of our layer that's going to go behind the punched out part of our card front. So we'll set that off to the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab the sentiment for this project. And let's see, it says, sending autumn wishes your way. So nice fall card. And this could be for any occasion that you would want to put inside. And just going to center that on the sentiment label. And now we've got that ready to go. All right, let me just set my ink way up to the side here. And then we can go ahead and put our card together. So, as I said, I did put all of the adhesive on the back of these, so I'll be able to take those off and put the card together. And I do need to add, it looks like 2 of the glue dots that they've provided on the back of my sentiment. So I'll take my Take Your Pick tool and go ahead and get that done. Okay, and then I'm going to just take all of the adhesive covering off of that in my dimensionals so that I'm good to go to put my die cuts where they need to go on the card front here. So, well, here in Wisconsin, it is in the 60s today. I think early morning it was in the 40s. Can you believe it? I think fall has fell. So it's gorgeous as far as very sunny. So it's a great day to be crafting and then to take a little break and I go outside and walk around my yard, pick a couple weeds. Believe it or not, I still have some of those. And I'm still enjoying my flowers, so I need to keep them watered. I hope wherever you are, you're doing well. I hope our friends that are down in the southern states that have been affected by the hurricane, hopefully recovery efforts and getting help and supplies to everyone is coming your way. It was pretty devastating. And wow, the fury of Mother Nature and all of that is something that we can't take for granted. And so if you have been affected, I'm very sorry and know that my thoughts and prayers are with you, as are many other people's. Okay, there we've got that. Hello, Kelly. Let's go ahead and just get these in the garbage can or they'll be all over the place. All right, and then to put this together, so easy to, we'll go ahead and get our bone folder and just be putting a nice crease in that card front. And then I'm going to be attaching the cardstock layer. And once again, I'm going to use the little mini glue dots, one in each corner, to attach this to the card front here from the inside. And with them, you know, having this be a separate piece of cardstock, I was able to stamp something that's going to be peeking through to the front of the card, which is nice. I'll tell you, I am of the opinion that Stampin' Up! Has really been stepping up their paper pumpkin kits. I've heard a lot of people commenting at how wonderful they are. So, you know, every month is a surprise and a nice one. Let's get this just centered right here on the inside so that when I look, you can see the branches coming in. I probably could have put them up a little bit more, but you see them. All right. I'm seeing that. Oops. Oh my, 107 degrees in California. Summer is back for Kathy Janvosky. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I don't remember where you're from. Brenda, yes, this is the September kit. And the reason that I always do it at the beginning of the following month is so that if anybody wants to do their kits while I'm doing it, they have their kits. So yes, this is the September kit. The October kit will not be mailed until about the 17th or the 18th of October. And hi, Donna. Nice to see you. All right, let's continue. So now we've got a part of our design. Also more foil in these die cuts, if you can see this. Very pretty. So I'm just going to put that around the front, as they suggest, on a diagonal here. And then we're going to add our sentiment label right up here towards the top. Okay. And then I have the round piece of wood that is going to go underneath this a little bit. There we go. And now I have the, oh, this floral is so pretty. So we're going to put this right here on the base. And then we have our adorable snail that's going to be right in front of that. The layers on the front of this card are really pretty amazing. And then I'm going to tuck this mushroom in right over here. All right, so there is our first card with those die cuts and the Cajun craze. It's gorgeous. And then, of course, it fits in this smaller envelope. So that is project 1. So we'll move on now to project 2. Oh, South Central Minnesota. Thank you, Kathy. All right. Now we're going to do the second one with these beautiful blue colors and other vibrant colors. So we have the inside liner of this envelope is the Night of Navy. Put that right there. We've got this card, actually the front and back have the design on them, which is going to be a benefit to us when we make our alternative cards. And we're going to do some stamping here on not only, let's see, we're going to actually do some on the card itself, and we're going to do some on the sentiment label. So I'm going to bring this back in again. And I'll get my twigs and the ink back in here. Okay, and we'll go ahead and do that first on the card. And it looks like they just would like some additional twigs on here. So let's go ahead right in between these leaves and add some. Let me move this up a little bit so you can see it. And we're actually going to go up in between these leaves and add the twigs. So we have those on two different sides, all right? And then we're going to take our little die cut sentiment label. And this one is going to say, thinking of you. So we'll go ahead and get that stamped. So we've got that one. Can move our ink out of the way here. And let's see what we need to be putting on the back of these for adhesive. So I have already put dimensionals on these. This is going to get just the mini glue dots. So what's really nice is Stampin' Up! Even distinguishes the type of adhesive that they suggest based on how they want you to create different height on the different cards you make. So the little black dots are the mini glue dots. And if it's a white, a little bit larger circle, then that is a dimensional. Now, obviously, you can do whatever you want. But if you're not quite sure, or, when you're looking at the picture, you can't really tell, what they want popped up or what is going to be flat. This part is really helpful since they provide the different types of adhesive that they're encouraging you to do based on their design. I guess it kind of is a little bit more of a foolproof project design that way. All right, so we've got our card base. Now let's go ahead and we're going to put the sentiment on first, and it's going to be flat on here. And let's see, it looks like I'm going to kind of place it the way they have it placed for now. And then we're going to add leaves over the top of that. So first I'm going to go with the blue here and take off the tops of these dimensionals. All right. Oh, so I'm glad you liked that first card. Yeah, it's really very cheery. That would be really nice to put in a gift bag or a little gift basket in light of the size. And we'll get our leaves right here. And it's really nice when I pick this up so you can see it a little better, that they have it popped up. It looks really good on here. Kind of liking all of the things that they're doing with fall leaves this year, between the paper pumpkin kit and the thing in the catalog and the changing leaves on online exclusives. It's really been nice. All right, and then let's go ahead and have this come right up here so it kind of overlaps a little bit. All right, and there is our second card. And let me put that up a little closer. If you can see, these look really pretty 3D. And you can see where the stamped branches add a little bit on top of all that too. So that is project 2. And now let's go ahead to project 3. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, we're going to do our stamping first with this one too, as we get out our parts and pieces here. Lots of parts and pieces in this one. We've got our Cajun Craze envelope. And we've got, let me just kind of let the die cut pieces there. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder to crease my card base. So we've got that good to go. And it looks like this one is going to be a landscape card. So let me put that landscape. And then, oh my goodness. So we have with thanks that we're going to put on this label, and we're going to do some of the twigs again. Let's go ahead and just stamp our sentiment label first. Got that on this little bit bigger acrylic block. So I just want to make sure I don't stick my block in the ink and get it on something. All right. And then I'm going to just center that on the banner that they provided here. Okay, we've got that. And then we'll bring our twig in again, and it looks like they're Stampin' Up, people that designed the kit, would like a number of these twigs to go behind the things that I'm going to be popping up on the front of the card. So let's go ahead and just fill in some of these twigs. And it looks like we're going to go down here. Now you can always look at this and, add a little if you want. Otherwise, you can just follow the suggested areas that they do. I think they only did stamp that twice. I am just for a little more decoration going to add a little bit down there. And I think in the very middle, I would like a little more sticking up right here. Okay. Oop, went rogue just a little bit. All right, let's look at then. The suggestion is that we put this together. All right. Boy, they really are thinking this is going to, I see what they're doing. We're going to put the with thanks underneath here. Just move this out of our way. And so I'm going to put some of the mini glue dots on the bottom here to first attach the extra little card layer they have there, cardstock, piece of cardstock, Cajun Craze. So let me go ahead and take these off. And so this is, kind of how you can make something with an extra layer on one of your sentiment items. Let's go ahead, and that was sticking out a bit. So we'll do that. Oop, I didn't do that very straight, did I? And I want that sticking out down there a bit. All right, so it's nice to have kind of that shadow effect underneath. And then I'm going to match where I had put dimensionals. I'm going to put them on this part of the sentiment label as well, so that they're at the same height all the way across. So we'll just take all that adhesive covering off. Take your pick tool really works this way too. All right. So we have that ready to go. And then I have the adhesive on the back of all of these. And this one has dots, so I'm going to take all of this off here. Now, the nice thing about these, where there are holes in these leaves, I have the mini glue dots because you can hardly see them, and you can always fold them over very easily as well to keep them literally invisible on your project. All right, let's take all of these off. All right. go. All right, and we're going to bring our card back in here, and we're going to do all of the leaves first before we put the sentiment on. And so kind of following their lead, I kind of want to see, all right, we have a more yellow one that we're going to put down towards the bottom here. And then we have one that is a little more orange on top here. And that one goes kind of in the center. There we go. And then we'll go over and put the one off to the side. Okay. And then we're going to follow with the one that we're going to put on. This one just has the mini glue dots, so it's going to be much flatter. You know, we don't want this to get too puffy, right? And then we have one here, the copper leaf, which we want to really be literally the star of the show, right? And let's put that right on top. And that has even more pop. So this pile of leaves literally looks like a pile of leaves. And then we're going to put our sentiment on here, kind of cover up all the mess of all those stems. So we'll just kind of put this along the bottom. And the pile of leaves is really coming out. Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. Let me see if I hold it this way. Can you see the different layers of leaves that are on the front of this card? And then, you know, with the little piece of cardstock and then putting it in a lined envelope, it really makes that design pop. All right, so these are the 3 cards that came with the kit. And now we're going to go ahead and do some alternative designs. And I'm going to show you how to very simply use these parts and pieces to make some alternative beautiful cards. So if you have any questions, let me know. Hi, Florence. Oh, I'm glad you like the second card. All right. Now let's go ahead and just slide these off to the side. And go ahead and look at what we can do as some alternatives. So I'm going to start first with the first card project. And I decided that wild wheat would be just gorgeous behind this. So I'm going to go ahead and take, now this is just a half a piece of 8.5 by 11. So it's actually 5.5 by 8.5, and I just scored it right in half here at 4 1/4. So that is our card base. And then I want to get a little bit more out of this. So I'm actually going to get my trimmer here, and I'm going to trim this in half. So let's just line this up. And I'm going to line up the score line that is already been provided on here, you know, on the cardstock from the kit. Got my cutting blade, and I'm just going to run that through. And now I have a square, and I have the square with the punch already in it. I'm going to go ahead and be using this one, and I want to add the Cajun Craze. And now I'm going to leave these, and look at, I have at least 1, if not 2 more cards I'm going to be able to make from this, but we're only going to do 1 card from each set today. So let me just set that off to the side here. Okay, but let's continue on this card design that we're working with. So let me move the trimmer to the side. Oh, and you know what? Before I keep going, this is probably a great time for me to draw for another winner before we finish the alternatives. So, you know, we have 1 winner. So D. Bain, if you're on here, you already won today. I just got to make sure these are all upside down and then move them around. And as I said, there's 1 entry for every card that was posted. And let's see, we'll pull out this one. And the winner is Kathy Janowski. And I know, Kathy, you're on here. Congratulations. So I'm going to put your name on the winner list, and I'll just need you to email me your mailing address. And you can email that to me at Tracy, TRACI, at plumcrazystamping.com so I can get this in the mail for you. All right, so we've got 2 winners now, and I'm going to set that aside, and we'll draw the last winner at the end of the broadcast. Okay, so there we go. Oh, great. I'm glad I'm saying it right, Kathy. Okay, so let's go back to our card design here. So I am loving that this is also going to be very pretty. So I am going to go ahead, and now this would also be a perfect setup for you to make a shaker card. I didn't really find anything I wanted to put inside this as a shaker card, so I'm just going to use it as a frame. And I'm going to use some cool embellishments that are kind of retro, but I think are gorgeous. So tell you what, I'm going to use some of my green glue now that I'm not trying to follow instructions anymore. And so I'm just going to put a little glue there and a little glue here, a little bit faster. Okay. And then here, probably easier for me to just do it this way. Center it. And make sure that's glued down. Okay, and I can create some interest by actually popping this up on here with dimensionals. But you know what? Before I do it, I'm going to do my stamping on the front here in case I have to move something to the top or bottom if something doesn't go the way I want it to. And I'm going to use the with thanks. I really like the size of this stamp for the front of the card. So let me go ahead and use this. Now, since this is not a solid image, the sentiment will go okay without the Pierce mat. And also I have a couple layers of cardstock under here. So we're going to just put with thanks right on the front. There we go. Set that off to the side. Now, I went into all of my little stash of things that I collect over time, and some of you may be very familiar with what I'm going to show you. So over time, I had a paper pumpkin kit that had little branches. So that's something that I could pop up on here. So I'm going to leave that as a choice. I have larger leaves that are also made out of, now this is balsam wood. So another choice. I have, these were called leaves trinkets. They were from quite a while ago. And the thing is, they're copper and silver, but isn't this copper pretty to match with what we're doing today? And let's see, there's a 3-leaf or a 1-leaf in those. You know, I forget I have these and then I don't use them. Well, and then probably a year or two ago, we had, now these are like, I don't know if you would call this a brass color, and it's, can you see it? It's a little bitty ladybug. So I could do that too. So with these choices, now I'd be interested what you think would be the prettiest on here. And I'm going to go ahead and attach the card front with my dimensionals. But I would like to see, what do you think I should put on the front? So I'm going to look at what you're saying and use your advice. And you know what's funny? I actually knock this sideways. So a little of that Cajun craze was showing through, but just trim it and it's all good to go. All right, so tell me, what do you think I should use? I've got leaves, wooden leaves, I've got copper leaves, and I have a little ladybug. And I'm going to pop up the front here while you give me your vote, if you will, for what you think I should embellish the front with. And so I just encourage you, think about what you have in your stash and get these fun little things out and use them on your cards. Sometimes I have them, in a little box somewhere and then I don't use them. So trying to always think of getting these things out there. All right, let's go ahead and press that down. A leaf and a ladybug. A bug and any leaves. Oh, you guys are thinking alike. And you're not even in the same state. You ladies, one of you is in Michigan and one is in Minnesota, but you're thinking alike. So let's see. Oh my. This one actually looks better that way. And then the little ladybug. Maybe I can put them actually down here. And put the little ladybug. I like your idea. I don't know if I need 2 or 3 things, but you know what? They end up being 3. I kind of like to look at odd numbers of things when I decorate things. So let's do this. I'm actually going to use the mini glue dots to hold down the wood. And then I'm going to see if I can tuck a part of a dimensional up under my ladybug because it's hollow. It's actually got a little bubble on it and it's hollow. So let's do that. I'm going to go ahead and put the mini glue dots on here because they're going to be clear. And that way the glue isn't going to squish through it. And I think that'll look a little better. Put one there. Put it up here. All right. And let me see if I can get one of my mini dimensionals to go up under this little, you know what? I might have to cut a little piece of this to fit under that little ladybug. See if I can get it right inside there so you can't see it on the other side. Otherwise, we have black dimensionals too, which might actually get hidden a whole lot better. And I have things called Zots that might stick up too. But let's see if we can do this with a dimensional. Probably more likely that you have a dimensional in your stash of adhesives. I don't know about you, but I pick up different adhesives in different places depending upon ideas I have that day. So, sometimes just look in your adhesive stash too for some ideas. All right, let's put this one down here. And we'll put the other one right. I am going to fold this mini glue dot kind of behind that stem. And then I won't see it. So we'll have it like that. And then let's see if we can put our little ladybug right on the top of that leaf. So there we go. That's kind of neat. Now, as far as mailing this, though, I don't know that I would trust this one going in a regular envelope. I'd put it in a padded envelope, or I would use this that you would give to someone in person because the ladybug on top of that leaf is pretty high. And then I would just take a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock. And let's see, we have with thanks sending autumn wishes your way or thinking of you. Or here, let's just do a couple of leaves on here. Now, because these are solid images, I'll want to use my Pierce mat. And I've not conditioned these stamps, so probably good for me to, ink it up, stamp it off, and make sure that it's taking the ink well. Sometimes if you even want to wash the stamp. All right. Let's go ahead and just put this down towards the bottom. And you can tell it is a new stamp because it did have a couple of areas that are a little, you can see one stamped a little bit better than the other. But pretty. And you know what? I think just to make it interesting, I'm going to put the twig in the middle. Maybe to the one side. There, I think that added a little interest by putting the twig around the leaves a little bit. Better than just having the leaves in there, right? And now we'll go ahead and stamp our sentiment on the inside. Okay. And then just, I'm going to glue that inside my card. And so here's the good news. Between the envelope and the other part of this card base, I'm going to be able to make 2 more cards like this. So just, I like, checking out what the projects look like for the kit, but I also like getting a little bit more out of them by adding just some very vanilla cardstock in this case. And the card base and, my embellishments. And there's my alternative card number 1. Okay, Kathy, good suggestion. You can ask the post office to hand stamp it and not send it through the machine. And it does cost a little bit more, but that is if you wanted to mail this, how you could do that. Thank you, Kathy. You're absolutely right. All right, let's just set these off to the side a little bit. We may or may not use them on something else. Okay, let's check out the second one. So the second one, I decided to also, I remember I've said before, I don't know that I need a back that is this beautiful. So I'm going to cut this in half so we can make at least 2 cards out of it, depending upon how you want to do this. So let me just, once again, I'm going to use the score line that they've already provided here on this card and cut that in half. So I've got, one other set. I'll just be setting that up there and I'll set the envelope up there. Okay. And then now this one, I'm going to make a fun fold. So I decided I'm going to do Night of Navy, and this is going to serve as my card front. So I do want to just cut this down a little bit more. So I'm going to have this be the card front that only has a 1/4 inch around the whole card. So I am going to cut this down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. I got to do that one on this side here so I can see my measurement. And I'm cutting off the top where I'm not cutting off any of the design. I want to keep all of the design there that I can. All right, and then I've already cut the card base. And this is once again 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. I have gone ahead and scored this at 4 1/4. So like we would a normal medium-sized envelope, a card that fits in that. And then I've just taken the front and I've scored that in half at 2 1/8. So, across it's 4 1/4. At 1/2, it's 2 1/8. All right. So I now have my Z fold, right? But I want to have this large front. So I'm actually just going to glue on another 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is half of the regular card base. Okay. So let me go ahead and first I'll put my card front on here. Just going to glue that on. So what's really nice is having, colored cardstock that matches, and having the whole collection. As I am getting these kits, I can go ahead and have, a piece of cardstock to make my card base. If you have all the cardstock, great, or if you're slowly like getting it collection by collection, also know that there are the sampler kits where you can get like I think it's 4 pieces of each color in a color family, and that would give you the opportunity to do this kind of thing with your paper pumpkin kits as well. So I would just think about um, what you want to have available to you as you do your card making projects. Sometimes when I'm getting started, or like when the new in colors come out, then I just get the multi packs, make sure I like all the colors, and then go from there. And I always end up getting the whole thing, but that's how I start slow. So now I'm just letting this match up and gluing that down. And this is such a nice stand-up card then. And then on the inside, now I don't have designer series paper in here, so I could take the other side of this and use it inside. But I want to use this for a card front, so I'm going to use some of the embellishments that we have with the kit, and I am going to do, just very vanilla on this side. So let me go ahead and let's see, what do I want to put? I think I'm going to do the same thinking of you that they did on the kit card. And instead of, adding an extra embellishment here, I'm just going to stamp right on the card, keeping it simple, right? Okay. And we'll do that kind of right in the center here. So we've got our thinking of you. And then on the inside, you know what? Let's go ahead and do kind of the leaves again. I kind of like the way that looked, but this time I'm going to do the branch first, because that way the leaves will cover up, I think, any of the twigs that I don't want to see. And I think I'm going to actually do it on the other side as well. And maybe just a little bit shorter, but I like how that looks. And let's go ahead and do our leaf stamping here. Put this up a little closer for you. And get our other leaf. You know, and I kind of like to do things in threes. Let's see if I can just put the top of this one over here. There. Okay, so, and this one, I am not going to put a sentiment in because I want the opportunity to write on here. So I'll go ahead and glue this in. Okay, and now from the additional die cut that I have sitting over here, it's like, what do I want to add? And oh, I think the snail is adorable. That could go there. So I'm kind of looking like, all right, so this is how this will stand up. This looks fine just like this. And it has this in here. You could put pieces of this paper in here and actually just stamp on it too if you didn't want to use the embellishments. Or do we like the mushroom? You know what? I actually just like doing the snail. He's really hidden there, though. I think I'll put him on this part. Okay. I'm just going to go with the snail. And I'm going to just put him on here flat. But like I said, you could just make a whole stamped area if you want to. But I think he's kind of cute just sitting over here as a little surprise when you open it all the way up. Okay, so that is our second card, and see how easy that is. And remember, so it's literally one card base and then another half of a card base to make your very simple Z-fold that stands up. So this is a card design I go back to over and over again because it's so simple. Okay, so that's two. Okay, Janet, nice to see you. They have 2 mailing times, but collect if you are short on funds at that time. They try again. Oh, I see. If they bring that to your house, are you talking about? All right, let's go ahead and do the last card here. And just want to make myself some room. So I think I just need to get the die cuts out of the way. All right, so we have the envelope. I think I'm just going to set off to the side. And this one, I'm going to cut, same thing. Right on the score line. All right. And I'm going to go with the, oops, I'm going to have to score. No, I got that scored already. Here is the early espresso. I think this is going to be beautiful on here. So we'll set this one off. No, wait, let's go ahead and use the one that has more than just the one background, okay, to add a little interest. Oh, and you know what? I want this to be a card front, so I'm going to get this back out here. And I am just going to cut this to be 4 inches by the 5 1/4. Oops, I already have to do that on this side. All right, there with our really pretty background. So I am going to put this flat. So let's just glue this on as a card front. Okay. All right. Then I am going to use, let's see. Gosh, I like that this has, but it's all round, round, round. Maybe if we pop up one of these, that'll make it a little interesting. I think I want to go back and use one of my leaf trinkets because of the copper foil on here. I am going to use one of the copper leaves on there. I think it's going to look gorgeous. And let's see, do we need a little yellow one here? And we have this copper leaf. And then, let's see, we probably need, well, I don't like that banner. It's too white. So I'm actually going to take, I'm going to make my own banner to put the sentiment on here. And you know, we've got another leaf that's kind of in this yellow family. So let's see how these go together. I think this is going to be really pretty. All right, so let's go ahead and first let's stamp our, let's do with thanks again on here. Now I'm going to just stick with Cajun Craze, but you certainly could do early espresso if you wanted to. I'm just going to put this on the bottom here. And then that is easy for me to, you know, just take out my trimmer and cut. Let's see. And I can always tell when I line up that I can't see the word in the track, then I know that I've cut it all right. Okay. And let's see. Do I want to put, well, I'm going to borrow their, maybe that's introducing too many colors. Let's just use this banner and put things around it, okay? And sometimes you can make those banner edges. I think I've showed you before. But you can also just simply trim this on a diagonal. And that also makes a very nice label, okay? So we've got that. And let's go ahead and put some of these pretty design features underneath it. Now, since there isn't anything in the center, I am going to put that there and put this piece of the stump. I'm going to keep that flat. Okay. And then I think I'm also going to put this yellow leaf underneath it, but I'm going to do that flat as well. Just to, you know, provide a background. Just putting little dots of glue on here. So I think we'll have this be kind of, so I'm hoping it goes underneath the sentiment label. Of course, I've got glue on my hands now. And let's see if we have this here. Then let's see what we want. So this copper leaf. And then how to fit this in with this copper leaf. And I don't know, maybe this one is too much. Well, maybe not. Let's keep that to the side here. Once again, I'm going to do this one flat too, so just some dots of blue. Okay. And let's put this one just kind of this way. Okay. And we're going to put our copper leaf. Now, this one I am popping up because I want to see it. What I think I'm going to do is, this is a really good reason to use the edges of your dimensionals, because I'm going to put just some very skinny lines along this leaf. So I'm going to cut them short, and then I'm going to cut them in half. You also have the line. I know it's not line, or strips. I'm sorry, dimensional strips. That would work too. I'm just creating some really skinny lines. Let's see how this works. Okay. I'm just finding some ribs of the leaves, to match up. Hello, Marissa. Okay, let's do one here. Okay, let's see how this looks. All right. And that's going to be right in the center. Okay, I'm going to pop up my with thanks. And I think I can just use my regular dimensionals for that. Oh, and if you haven't figured out already, this is a longer live in light of it being a paper pumpkin workshop, ladies. So thanks for hanging in there. I appreciate it. Got some more good news for you at the end of our broadcast today. So, all right. Oh boy, I got a little dimensional sticking out there. I'm going to cut it off there. I don't want it showing. All right, so there we go with that. And now my, now I think I'm just going to keep this down here in the corner as its own little design. And, I think I'm going to press this one into some glue and see if it'll stick. If it comes off, then I'll use something else. But I'm going to use glue and see, because that will dry clear. So I'm just going to put it right there, hold it in place for a minute. And then we have to do our inside. And let's do what we've been doing. It seems to work. Boy, I just love this card kit. How are you feeling? Does this make you feel like fall? And I think it's an easy kit to use too. What do you think? Tell you what, this one I'm going to put branches all along the bottom. Kind of random. Oh, I kind of like that. Little different, or they could be coming from the top. I even like that better. Yeah. And then you know what? I do have this little wood piece from the front. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down because why waste it? So we get a little of that shine inside on the bottom, right? Let's leave ourselves just a little space. There we go. There, and I'm not going to do an inside sentiment on this either. But the contrast that we're going to see with our dark early espresso is going to be really pretty. And don't forget to, decorate your envelopes too for this. Oh, and you know what, guys? I cut the sentiment banner off of here, so this isn't a perfect card base. But you know what? It's art, so it looks a little different. I just centered it inside. There we go. So it looks a little different, but I think it looks fine. And there is this one. And I have a whole nother card front that I can do the same way. And I think adding some of those copper things that I had helped me to be able to enhance it. Oh, and the other thing I was going to do, so we have the Baker Twines Essential Pack or a neutral pack. But anyway, I really like this. And I actually have to go to the bottom of this. I could use the light one, or I could use this darker twine. I'm going to use, let's see here. Oh, no, I'm going to use the lighter one. It's kind of a very vanilla color, right? And I'm just going to tie a little bow and add that to the front of this card. I think it'll just take it up another notch. So easy to do. I'll tell you, a lot of times I will get this linen thread in my different paper pumpkin kits. So I have a ton of these in different colors, but I also like to buy the little ones that I get from, Stampin' Up! In the multicolor. So let's just use a little glue dot right on the knot of this to adhere this to the front of the card. So I'm going to take this off, take the adhesive off. Easier said than done. There we go. And I'm going to roll it up in a little ball to put right behind the knot. And then just stick it to the knot. If I can get it off my finger. There we go. And then stick that kind of like right on my copper leaf, I think. There. I think that added. Just put a little bow on there. And you could put it anywhere, but I kind of like it by the base of the leaves. Yeah, so any questions? Well, Corey, I'm glad I changed your mind. A lot of times I'll see what people do with things and I have the same opinion. I'll be like, I don't think that's for me. And then I see someone use it and I'm like, oh, I didn't, think about that. So, okay, we've got our 3 alternative cards here. And then we have our 3 kit cards. All right, where'd my other blue card go? Some days I'm very, very grateful that my head's attached because I can lose things along the way. There we go. All right, so before we go, though, I need to pick another winner here. Let me just close my ink pad and see what other good news I have for you and a couple other announcements. So, gosh. All right, so the Changing Leaves, that was the 4-card free tutorial if you did a $50 order with Plum Crazy Stamping last month. I'm going to continue this for another week, and I'll tell you why. This online exclusive suite bundle stamp set with the hybrid embossing folder all became available again. So it's back in inventory. And so in case you didn't know that, this is a chance to, if you purchase that or anything else, you're able to get this free 4-card tutorial. And I'm still offering that. So FYI. And then let's see, let's do we got to do our last drawing here. So I'm going to put these all upside down again. So can't see them. And if you weren't on earlier, I want you to know if you buy a kit from Stampin' Up! Through Plum Crazy Stamping between now and the 16th of October, I'm also doing a drawing for the Haunted Home Kit. So FYI, you don't want to miss out on that. All right, so let's go ahead and move these around. Pick one from here. Oh my, Kathy, you would have won again, but 1 prize per person. See this one. Okay, Kathy Galliard. Another one of our Kathys is winner number 3. So once again, I just need you to send your mailing address to me at Tracy, TRACI, at plumcrazystamping.com. And I'll be getting these in the mail. The other thing is with me telling you that my email address, if you need a catalog and don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you can also email me at Tracy at plumcrazystamping.com, and I can send you a catalog. And lots of fun stuff going on. And obviously, I know many of you are getting ready for Christmas. So we have our winners there. The other couple of things, just to now remind you about the World Card Making Day event on Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Central Time. On October 15th, I am actually going to do a different kind of online class. I'm going to be holding it on Zoom, and it's going to be a stamp-along. And I've designed the cards to be fast and festive. So we're going to make at least 20 cards within that 2-hour event. Might be a little shorter, but I'm going to make sure that you can make at least 20 cards. So once again, watch for that on my Facebook page. I'll be back next Wednesday for another free card making lesson. And I will also be here on the 16th. And then I'm doing a crop event, which is 2 hours, and we do a question and answer session. We do a short lesson, and I'm actually going to show you how to make 2 different Christmas ornaments. And then usually we have an hour or an hour and 15 minutes to work on projects with everybody together, because that's on Zoom. So you can talk to one another, ask questions, and ask questions of me. And then there will also be 2 more free card making lessons on the 23rd and the 30th of the month. So with that being said, I just want to thank you so very much for joining me on Plum Crazy Stamping today. And I'm here to serve you and to help make stamping easy, card making fun, and hopefully help you to get a jump on your holidays. So don't hesitate to give me a thumbs up, share this video with other crafters that you know, and let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you. Once again, you can reach me at Tracy, TRACI, at plumcrazystamping.com. Thank you so much, and happy stamping, folks. Bye-bye now.